Welcome to the Lummy Sports Show with Rhett. It's been a while, Rhett.
It has been a while. The holidays came and went. And then I think we missed a show because I was just having a rough day.
Yeah, you're having a bad day. It's okay. Sorry about that.
It's okay. I just, would have been a good day to talk sports. I wouldn't have been, I wouldn't have been able to contribute very much.
Well, we are back in 2024, our first show of the new year. And there is a lot of things going on. Coaches firing, the playoffs are here. Jameis Winston making a complete ass of himself like he normally does, which is why I'm completely happy that he's not here in Tampa anymore.
I got to tell you, talking about the Winston story, there's a lot of people who have come to his defense just because it's funny, and I totally understand that argument. It is funny. It's a rivalry game. You want to get your boy a touchdown, like, oh, he's such a great teammate.
Neil Malplaisir, 1999, Super Chat.
Oh, he's such a great teammate. They just wanted to do it for their running back, Jamal Williams, who hadn't had a touchdown all year.
Go, Pat, go! Sorry, we have to give a little...
No, it's okay.
I
understand.
love in Neil Malplaisir. Oh, did you see who gave him the most love, I feel like? Who was the biggest counter programmer ever? RG3.
Yeah, I just... I think the people, especially the teammates who have his back and are defending that type of thing, I think it just speaks to the quality of personnel walking around the Saints organization. Like, that's my least favorite thing about the Saints, and that's why I hate them so much, is that from the top to the bottom, they're just garbage.
They're just assholes.
Yeah, they're just a bunch of fucking assholes. And, they defend it every year, and then they also talk a lot of shit.
Oh, yeah.
And they never really get checked. And I'm glad that Jason Light had pulled out the receipts once the Bucs had officially secured the NFC South. He took that clip of Cam Jordan at the Pro Bowl last year saying, oh, the Bucs are going to go back to where the Bucs have been. You mean winning the division and going to the postseason?
Exactly.
I hate the Saints. Fuck that team. But I'm glad that, at least if Jameis is going to go out like that, he goes out on his own terms, because it was pretty funny. And it speaks to how he is on accident the funniest player in football.
This is one guy that I cannot stand.
Who,
Things on the
Jameis?
Jameis Winston situation. One, Jameis Winston.
RG3. Everything he has to argue about. Have you heard this?
Because he's the former player. So, I mean, he's by default, like 80% of his takes are always going to favor the locker room and the players and shit like that.
Winston should not lose his job, get cut or fired because of the touchdown scored at the end of the Atlanta Falcons New Orleans Saints game. Two, if getting Jamal Williams a touchdown at the end of the game is wrong, nobody in that Saints locker room wanted Jameis Winston to be right. Look at the reaction of the guys on the sideline when Jamal Williams comes off the field. They're hugging him. They're elated.
Well, yeah,
they were doing that.
They just scored a touchdown, too.
Yeah, they were doing that shit after they knocked Chris Godwin out for the year back in 2021 against the Bucs. Like, they're just
They're just a bunch of assholes.
Yeah.
You guys are beating the shit out of the Falcons, which, whatever, it's football. But when you put the victory formation, and I brought up the fact, I wish I had RG3 would have made the comments when Greg Schiano, and I think you remember that. You were watching the Bucs at that point, because it wasn't too long, because my boy Josh Freeman was on the team. Remember the criticism and how all the players came out when Greg Schiano had his guys try to dive for the ball,
right?
And the offensive linemen were like, we're giving up.
Still with a chance to win the game.
Yeah, and like, I don't know who really defended it. I don't think at that time anybody defended it.
No. And now, to this day, I don't think a lot of people defend it, but you could argue in favor of it because of the stipulation, simply because the Bucs were still in a position to win that game. Like, if they got the ball back, they were cooking.
Well, yeah, but they did do it every game for a while.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that, like, right here, you got RG3 that's just coming out defending, Jameis Winston. Oh, we got him a touchdown. If you looked, he scored this many touchdowns. Okay, then just set up in an I formation and fucking run the ball. The Falcons were already beat down, and you can say, like, oh, just being a bunch of pussies, play football. But when... Like, it'd be the same thing, and like, I don't want to compare it to war. I don't want to be Kellen Winslow, but if someone threw up a white flag, hey, I give up, and then you just come and start beating the fuck out of them.
Yeah, they fire on you as you go to sign the treaty or whatever the case may be. That's the biggest thing that irks me, is that they faked the kneel down. Like, they came out in victory formation and said, no, fuck it. And the person that I feel the worst for is Dennis Allen. And I never thought that I would be saying that.
Yeah.
Because I don't care for him too much as a head coach. I like him as the head coach of the Saints because clearly the players do not give a shit about what he wants for the team or what he has to say at the end of the day, so long as Jameis Winston is involved. But the Saints have already pretty much announced they're going to bring him back for 2024. So he got cucked so bad. Like, what does that do for him as a coach? How does that make him look?
I think you need to look at the player personnel that might have, I think fucking get rid of Winston. And if anyone wants to sit there on the team and really defend Winston, I think you just need to look at it and go, I'm in charge. Get the fuck out.
If it was a team decision, then so be it, because there's a lot of veterans on that Saints team, guys like Cam Jordan, Demario Davis. They've been there a long time. They don't play on the fucking offense, so I don't know what veterans on the offensive side of the ball made that team decision. But if it was a team decision, that's fine. Move on from the coach.
You know who looked weird that he didn't seem like he liked it was, what's his name, Hill?
Taysom Hill?
Yeah. He was all the way in the back, and he kind of shrugged his shoulders after it was done. And the fact of the matter is, if Jameis had any respect, I believe they still had timeouts. Jameis in the huddle when he got the call could have easily called a timeout, walked over to him because the Falcons still would have been, and he could have, coach, we all want to fucking get him one touchdown. Let's get him one touchdown, coach.
Yeah.
Come on.
Could have pled his case.
Yeah. What are the Falcons going to do? Cry that there was another touchdown? You know what I mean? But obviously they just did it without talking to him. So, yeah, I mean, but like you said, we all feel the same way, especially as Buck fans. Fuck the Saints and fuck Jameis Winston. I just like how Shannon Sharp came out and completely just fucking ripped him a new asshole.
Yeah, Shannon's one of the former players, or one of the few former players that I've seen really come out and, like you said, rip him a new one, because I personally think he hit the nail right on the head. It's just I don't know. Like, the fact that he has teammates coming out and defending him, I think that speaks more to the quality of player on the Saints. But it just, sorry, I'm fighting with a dog here.
Oh.
I don't know. Rubs me the wrong way. I hate the Saints. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, it does too. And then, another coach that there's controversy, and I kind of called it the other day, is Mike Vrabel, that the Titans fired Mike Vrabel after 6 seasons. And then the headlines even on ESPN here said, where is it at? Titans fire Vrabel, decided against trading coaches. Because if you remember what I said is that I thought Vrabel was going to probably be traded to the Patriots, especially if Bill Belichick was gone. And the Titans again decided against trading. Like, they could have traded Derrick Henry. If they weren't going to re-sign him, they could have traded him in the midseason and said they were going to get nothing. And now they're even come out and said, yeah, we decided we didn't really want to trade him. So they cut him, and they said, well, we couldn't trade him unless there was a willing partner to trade. What was it, like 2 days? What was it? It was yesterday, so what, 2 days after the season, right?
Yeah, this whole Vrabel thing, like, it all materialized pretty quickly. There's a couple of Titans guys that I follow, and like, they were all incredibly surprised by just how quickly it had played out, because the rumors about, really the biggest thing I think that was the catalyst for this move was the disagreement that he had with ownership about the GM.
Yeah, that's true.
Because, so this is hearsay, this is rumor, but I guess there's, where there's smoke, there's fire. What I had heard is that he wanted to hire his boy, it's Ryan something. I think Ryan Cawthron.
Okay.
Or or Ryan Day. It was one of those two guys. And
Cawthron, I think, is a GM. Right?
Ryan Cawthron, I think, is the GM of the Titans.
Yeah.
So I think he wanted them to hire Ryan Day, who is his boy.
Yeah.
And the Titans had begun that process. They had talked to both Vrabel and Day. They had kind of confirmed that they were going to go ahead and do that once the opportunity came up. And the NFL kind of put a stop to it and said there needs to be a little bit more through process on this because, we need more information, blah, 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 blah. Because I don't know when they were trying to do it, but the NFL stepped in. So they did that. The season plays out, and then they ended up hiring someone else who is their current GM. And I guess ever since then, the new GM and Vrabel have wanted different things for the team as far as how to build the team, how to get better through the draft, how to trade and target guys in free agency. The A.J. Brown trade.
Yeah, he was not happy about that one.
No,
I mean, who could be?
People lost their jobs.
Yeah,
as of now, people lost their jobs over that trade. So you can see that, Like, it's kind of been a slow burn, but it's unfortunate. I think the Titans really fumbled the bag here, and they lost a good one with Vrabel. Because now it makes way too much sense for him to end up in New England.
I mean, yeah, he had a down season, but they did have a horrible roster, in my opinion. And obviously, they drafted Will Levis. Ryan Tannehill got hurt. Derrick Henry obviously is going to be out. Maybe it's good for Vrabel that he left. He had a 54-45 record after pretty much a losing. What was he? 5-11.
5-11.
Yeah.
5-11. I think they finished.
Or was it 6-11?
What? Yeah, one of those two this year. They won against Jacksonville that final week to kick him out of the postseason. So I think they were 6-11.
Which got a lot of the coordinators fired from Jacksonville, and obviously the Bears fired their offensive coordinator.
About time.
Which looks like, unfortunately for Seth, they will be probably keeping their head coach. So usually that's the move in football. I mean, you've seen it. Usually, they fired the offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator to see if they can get 1 year to turn it around, and then if they don't, that's when the head coach goes. So it looks like they're going to be giving the head coach another year in Chicago, which that team played. They played. You know, they. I know, what was it? The Lions. I mean, they could have been in the playoffs. That Lions game, the first game they played the Lions, they were up. They were up by like 14 or 21, and then they lost it in the second half against the Lions. And the Lions are, they're a good team. So I'm a little nervous about the Bears.
Yeah, you never hear about a coordinator being let go before a head coach, so that's gotta kind of suck for the Bears. The Bears fans reading in between the lines there. But, I think the biggest thing really with that NFC North division is where the Lions are headed, where the Packers are going to be headed, where the Vikings may potentially be headed after they get rid of Kirk Cousins and then pick their new quarterback. They went, 7-10? So
yeah. Well,
what are they picking, like 14?
Well, some people are saying that they may have to rethink that Kirk Cousins deal.
Why? Just because all the money? Well, he's a free agent, is he not?
About bringing him back. Look what he was able to do with Minnesota in that offense. And, I mean, are you willing to let Kirk Cousins go? Because you see how they just collapsed.
It is.
Without Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, and it was one of those things headed into the season where they knew they were going to be productive with him and they knew they were still going to win some games. And it seemed like the general consensus was that they were going to move on. So I still think they're going to move on. Like, I think he's going to be, if I'm not mistaken, he's a free agent.
He is a free agent.
So he's going to be the number one free agent QB. Number 2 or 1A, probably Baker Mayfield. Like, I know a lot of people might not agree with that at surface value, but Baker had a pretty good year. Statistically, his best season of his career, over 4,000 yards for the first ever time, 28 touchdowns, 10 picks. Sorry, I'm kind of rambling here.
No,
all of
good.
that to
Go
say this
it.
about the AFC North and the importance of a quarterback. If you're the Bears, is Justin Fields the guy? Because you talk to a lot of Bears fans, and it seems like they want him, but most of the people who grind the tape every week and post on Twitter, all the journalist guys are saying, like, this kid's not it.
He can't read the defense.
Right. He's hanging onto the ball too long. It's just, we should know by now, and we still don't know about Justin Fields.
I mean, does it have anything to do with maybe their offensive line that they need to beef up with?
Right. The inconsistency in the coaching staff since he's been there, the injuries they've had this year, Cole Kmet, Darnell Mooney, Nate Davis. I guess those guys are questionable, but.
Yeah, I mean, look, I really do think the Bears. I'm not 100% sold on Caleb Williams. The Bears have two high draft picks. I think they trade down. I mean, look, if I was a GM right now of the Bears, I would trade that number 1 pick probably to the Commanders. And the Commanders look so fucking desperate to get a big name quarterback, and I really feel like they want Caleb Williams. That just like the Panthers trading to the Bears to move up a spot to get Bryce Young. Pretty much sold their future with the Panthers and now are fucked. I think that's exactly what the Commanders will do with the whole new ownership and all that other stuff. I really feel that would be the smartest move. The Bears load up on draft picks and they just keep building the team the way they have been the last couple years. I was going to segue in, and I will. I just want to bounce back off. You know what? Talking about the Bears, this headline came out, Rhett, and I think you're very familiar with the Heavy.com.
Oh, God.
Bears expected to sign $82.5 million Pro Bowl wide receiver alongside DJ Moore. Now, obviously, I think Justin Fields would do very well with DJ Moore and Mike Evans, as this article says. The Bears will now. This is the use their number one pick. They think to invest in a quarterback, but also signing Mike Evans. Now they are very confident that they are going to land Mike Evans, who they are saying market value is about $24 million annually, and they may give him a 4-year contract for $24 million to land it. What is your opinion? I'll tell you mine right now. If Mike Evans really doesn't want to be in Tampa and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers do not want to pay him, this is my opinion. Mike Evans will not do well with the Bears. He's what, 30 going on 30? Or is he 31 now?
I don't know if I can co-sign with that, only because one thing.
Hold on. I'm just saying, like, he's about 31, right? 30?
Yeah, he'll be 31 at the start of next year.
I'm not going with the Brian, they always start to. But listen, Mike Evans does have a little bit of injury problems. He has some, I think he did hurt his knee or his quads or something like that. And I really think playing in that cold weather and on that turf, Mike Evans probably would not be playing through his 4 years in Chicago. Not because of his age, just because of his body. I think it's going to break down in the cold. I mean, he's from Texas. He's always played, and I know football players play in the cold. I'm just saying, on that hard turf, taking those hard hits, the way he lands, I don't think it's a good move for Mike Evans to go to Chicago in that cold weather.
I think, the deterioration of his body is a fair point, but if there's one thing that Mike Evans has proved to me, especially now, this season was the year for him to prove to me that regardless of Baker being here, he could still ball out, and he was the best offensive weapon the Bucs had this year. He was the most consistent offensive weapon. There were some weeks he was our entire offense, so he can absolutely still get it done. I do not doubt him in that aspect. Do
you believe the heavy.com?
No. We could do an entire show that would last 2 hours about how much I fucking despise the heavy.com. And their miserable excuse for what they call sports reporting. But back to Mike Evans, I don't think the Bucs are just gonna they're not gonna let him go. You know what I mean? I think on the priority list for free agency, the Bucs want to lock up Antoine Winfield Jr., the Pro Bowl snub, who hopefully should be on the All-Pro list, but fuck, he's probably not even gonna get that or Defensive Player of the Year consideration, which he does deserve.
I do like how Fox showed during the game the two stats.
Yeah, because they felt so compelled.
Who was it was a former
Jonathan
linebacker.
Vilma.
Yeah, I like how Jonathan Vilma's like, well, the NFL, for some reason they decided that he was better for the team.
Right.
But the stats don't show, and I don't think Winfield Jr. is bad for the team. And then right after that,
he makes that goal line play.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so they have to add on to the statistic that he forced another fumble at the goal line there.
Exactly.
Which he has done twice this season.
Yes,
I've never seen a play like that in as long as I can remember watching Bucs football, and this guy came in and did it twice.
Yep.
So the Bucs are going to make sure they don't let go of Antoine Winfield Jr., but number 2 on that list is Mike Evans. Now, if he ultimately doesn't want to be here, then he won't be here. But I think he does want to be here, and I think the Bucs would love nothing more than to have him back. Chris Godwin, he was inconsistent this year, and it was mostly because Canales couldn't figure out how to use him in the offense, but I also think there have been some times where Chris Godwin's had to step up and prove he's a number 1, and he hasn't necessarily been able to do it.
Big E7375, $25 super chat. Thank you. Yes, we just talked about the Bears fired Luke Getsy. Wow.
Yeah, good for them. About time. But Mike Evans isn't going anywhere. The Bucs are going to make sure they sign him, and that is that. I think he's going to ball out. I think he'll go anywhere else but Tampa and still ball out if he doesn't end up back here. If he goes to the Bears, I don't think the Colts going to bug him that much. I think it's a fair point, but he's Mike fucking Evans, dude. He's had statistically one of his best seasons this year with Baker Mayfield, so they could have Justin Fields or a rookie QB. He's going to get 1,000 yards. He's going to get his. He's the model of consistency in the NFL, which at the wide receiver position, you know how tough that is to do year in and year out.
Yeah, and Eat More Coleslaw says he'd roll the dice on Trey Palmer. He likes the promise. I think I like the role Trey Palmer's playing right now.
I think Trey Palmer might be a little overrated in some people's eyes right now. I like him a lot. I liked him at the beginning of the season for sure. I think as an undrafted free agent, he definitely deserves another chance. I'm not saying they should get rid of him, But, moving on from Mike Evans to have a wide receiver room that consists of Chris Godwin, Trey Palmer, and whoever else they end up signing or drafting, he played like shit in that game against Carolina. And then he had that big fumble against the Saints. Like back-to-back weeks, he didn't play well. Well, against the Saints, he had some big-time catches. I think he had a touchdown as well late in the game.
Yeah.
But it was too little too late. You know what I mean? In the catch that counted the most, he dropped it and fumbled it, and the Saints took over.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, he needs to be a little more consistent on his catching, which, I mean, that may be for the offseason. He's going to be cheap, too.
Yeah, he's a rookie. It's a what have you done for me lately kind of league, so I'm not too happy with him, but I do like his upside, and I think he deserves another year in the offense for sure if they bring back Canales.
239, our newest Bucks fan.
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Hey, this guy jumped on the Bucks bandwagon, Rhett.
Yeah, I know, with his fake-ass jersey. Like not even just a regular Mike Evans jersey, a creamsicle jersey.
Well, those are way more sexier than the regular Bucks jerseys.
Sure.
Listen, it is better than his McCaffrey Panthers jersey.
Right.
That he was wearing. McCaffrey hasn't been on the team.
He's got too many holes in it. He had to leave it at home.
Yeah, he jerked off on it too much. Cum stains.
Hey, no, the stains are hard to get out. Even when you wash it and stuff, it's tough.
So what can we do for you today, Mr. Henstar?
So, two things. One, definitely think this weekend is definitely going to be a lot of upsets. And I don't see the Dolphins winning, which I don't know if that's an upset or not.
It's not an upset technically.
No, well.
I mean, they're in KC too.
Yep, and it's cold.
And then so then also the Browns-Texans game, I'm looking at it and I'm like, I could see the Browns winning that game. And I don't think that's an upset. And I know
that's not an upset.
I know that they're favored to win, but I don't think it's an upset.
No, I mean, it's not an upset if they're favored to win. It's not an upset.
But if you look at that, I mean,
the Browns are -2. They're favored, and they're at Houston. So you got to look at
$750.
What was that?
Oh, I got a pre-roll. Jesus. Hidden Star. That's not an upset, jackass. Thank you, Xerxes.
How?
Because all right, first off, they're on the road, and they're favored. Okay. Hold on. They're favored, and they're on the road. So that means the Texans technically, if you go with the betting philosophy, whatever, usually get 3 points when you're home. So realistically, if the Browns are at home, they'd be favored by 5.
The way I look at it,
that means that the favorite can't be an upset.
I don't know, man. I know you're looking at it at betting terms, but I'm just looking at how the teams have been playing and stuff. And
looking at it like betting terms.
I'm just talking about how they're playing. I know you're looking at the sports books that determine, a favored team and an underdog. But I think Miami, even though they're favored,
the way they're playing. What are you looking at the last game when Joe Flacco and fucking Amari Cooper were sucking each other's balls on the sideline?
Oh.
I mean,
come on.
The Texans what, because they won 2 games and the Browns lost 1? The Browns are 11-6. The Texans are 10-7. Realistically, if you just want to go off a record, the Browns have a better record. 8-1 at home.
If you look at who they've played and stuff, I don't know.
The Browns?
I think the playoffs this weekend are going to be very interesting.
Hold on. Are
Joe
you trying
Flacco is beat?
Hold on. Hensar, I don't know if you're on some drugs right now. Did you just say the Browns had an easier schedule than the Texans?
I mean,
they played the Baltimore twice. They beat Baltimore the last time they played them.
Baltimore's an overrated. I don't know. Baltimore is going to lose.
Hold on. Say whatever you want about Baltimore. We've had our takes.
Lummy, I'm not talking about win-loss records. Yeah. I'm not talking about who's favored by what. I'm just talking about how the team played this year.
How about this one? Christmas Eve, Henstar.
Yes.
When the Cleveland Browns traveled to Houston, what was the score?
I have no idea what the score is.
36-22. 36-22. The Browns beat the crap out of the Houstons. Joe Flacco threw for 368. Mari Cooper, that had his biggest game at 265. So, right then and there, if we're talking about just head-to-head matchup now, the fucking Browns already kicked the shit out of them at Houston. So, horrible take. Go to your second take here, big boy.
Second take is to kind of piggyback off of what you're talking about in the first part of the show. Do you feel like the commentators now are just so pro-athlete, or they're all former athletes, but I just feel like the commentating on ESPN, maybe not so much NFL Network, but some other areas, it's just so downgraded. I feel like it's like a good old boys or a boys club, and I don't know. I just feel like it's getting dumber.
I think the panel show that I get the feeling from the most is the Thursday Night Football panel whenever it's on Prime Video, because they've got Ryan Fitzpatrick, RG3, Andrew Whitworth, and who's the other guy that I'm missing right now? There's one more. There's one more, and then there's the chick, Richard Sherman.
Yeah, Richard Sherman.
And Richard Sherman is like one of the more pro player guys of all time. So the takes that you're talking about, I get what you mean, and it feels like it's just everyone's quick to kind of take the player side and not look at it from the other point of view. But I think it's just because of the former players. Like there's just more and more former players on TV than there ever have been. Gerald McCoy's on the NFL Network now.
I love Booker.
What about the Monday Night Football panel? I really think that's kind of really went downhill as well.
It's like
not
who is
Aikman and Buck, but
who is that? It's like Randy Moss, Charles Woodson.
Yeah, I don't think Tony Dungy's on there anymore. Is
Booger
he?
McFarlane.
That was Sunday Night Football or some shit.
No, Booger does the thing with,
I love Booger.
with Chris Berman.
Yeah, Booger's great.
They delegated Chris Berman to like one segment a week, which is exclusive to the ESPN Plus app, which really kind of makes me upset because I know Berman's old. I know he's technically retired.
I was going to say he technically retired, so.
I don't know. I think he's good for the brand.
All right, and so we're moving on because your first take was horrible.
Upset.
So
See you guys.
Yeah, see you later. Hold on. 3 more. And Blumpy's Lawn Sponge. The sports show has always been on Wednesdays. Right, Rhett?
Yeah, always. Just, early time slot now.
Well, technically we had that before the Christmas break. 315.
What up, Lummy? It's Longwood.
What's up, Richard?
Yeah, no ring Gary.
You're my favorite Gary, Ninja.
It's okay. Let's discuss what contract the Bucs should offer Baker. Did you do that already?
No, we have not. I mean, in my opinion, and Rhett and I did not talk about this, I think, I've said it, I think they need to give Baker a 3-year, let's say 3-year deal worth like 50, 60 million for now, and then draft in the second or third round this year, get a good quarterback prospect, and have him sit behind Baker. Give him 3 years.
I thought we had a good quarterback prospect.
I don't.
Trash.
Well, I've never said Trash was good. Okay, I'd rather him bring Josh Freeman back.
Yeah, that's going to go down as the worst pick Jason Light ever made here is Kyle Trask. But I agree with the 3-year deal for Baker. I think that's a good length. But
that's a good. Yep. No, I think that's the worst pick. Aguayo.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, Longwood.
Yeah,
we tried
because
to block that out.
He didn't even stay like through his contract. Trask has at least faithfully ridden the bench.
Yeah, faithfully.
You think he gets cut in March?
No. I think I think if Walford isn't on the team, then maybe they sign if they draft a QB, that changes things. But no, I think even if they draft a QB, he'll just be QB3.
What do you think, Longwood?
Because next year is his last year, and then he's a free agent, so they don't got to eat anything if they just wait it out.
Yeah, that's true.
I totally agree on the same thing with the contract for Baker, because basically he's made his money. He's got endorsements. That guy, I don't think he really cares about money. I think he cares more about winning, and he's finally at a place where he wants to be, and you can tell by the way he played this year, he wants to be in Tampa.
He looks happy. He looks happy.
I think one thing a lot of people are going to disagree with is how much money they think he's going to get. Lummy, you said like right around $20 million a year.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be north of 25, simply because the franchise tag for a QB right now is $31 million. So if you're going to sign him to a long year deal, or if you just fucking franchise tag him, but if they franchise tag anyone, I think it's going to be Winfield.
Yeah.
I don't think. Well, you know what? They always could do a 3-year, $70 million, and just kind of say, hey, we want to re-sign Evans. Maybe let's put your money in the back.
Well, on top of that too, I mean, if the Bucs don't lose a guy like Mike Greenberg to Carolina, you still got some cap wizards up in the front office that are going to get shit done. And Baker could take a nice upfront deal where he's got a bunch of void years, and that can help them sign some more guys like Mike Evans to a number that he's going to prefer, because I think Mike Evans deserves all the money. I don't know if the Bucs are going to be prepared to pay him like north of 27 or 28, but I think he deserves whatever he ends up getting, whether it's here or another team.
And I think, like we talked about, I think it was yesterday, Red, or maybe it was today. We need to rework Worth's deal. Give him a bump in pay.
Well, they're just going to sign him. I think this offseason they're gonna get that extension out of the way, because I'm sure they've already picked up his 5th-year option, but you can save about $30 million next year or this coming year if you just sign Wirfs to an extension. Then you can dictate what his cap hit is next year.
And we finally have a tackle that actually doesn't fucking suck like Donovan Smith. Okay.
And we actually got a kicker now.
Yes, we do.
Dude, he deserves some money, too. I think they need to make sure he doesn't leave Tampa because, holy shit, he was money this year. Chase McLaughlin.
More painful leaving, Mike Evans or Stamkos?
I mean,
I'm a lifelong Bucks fan, and Mike Evans is one of my favorite I've ever seen do it in a Bucks uniform. But I would say Stamkos because at the end of the day, at the end of his career, he's going to be regarded as the greatest Lightning player of all time.
I would have to agree with Rhett. Even though, hockey doesn't get as big of a push, as football does, I was upset at the time, even though it was LeCavier and St. Louis. I was upset how they left. I wish they would have retired a Lightning.
Well, St. Louis left because he's a bitch.
Well, I know.
I can't stand him.
But LeCavier got fucked because of the previous owners that we had. They gave him the biggest fucking contract and just fucked the whole team up. And there was no way to get out of that.
Because he threw a fit because we wouldn't let him play in the Olympics because he was injured.
Yeah, that's true too.
He threw a fit and wanted to leave.
Yeah, that's true too. But I still wanted those guys. I'm an old school guy that likes, play out your career, at least, if you made it. I know St. Louis wasn't, life longer, but like LeCavier, I wanted him to finish it out. I liked when the Bucks, I wish they would have kept Lynch and, obviously Brooks didn't go anywhere else and Barber didn't, but I mean, fuck's that, but still. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I like, if you're like Allstott too, Allstott never, I mean, I guess technically he physically couldn't, but, I like
Man, he's so fit now. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no shit.
Yeah, he's shredded, dude.
And he just got a divorce.
I met Brad Culpepper like a couple years after he retired, and that dude was ripped. I'm like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah, he was on that TV show too.
Those offensive defensive linemen, bro, when they shed that weight, it's quick.
Hey, look at Taylor Lewan. He's all skinny now.
Taylor Lewan, and then have you seen recent pictures of Ali Marpet?
Yeah. He's all skinny.
A fucking string bean. He looks like Brian now.
Playing his fucking guitar. His little ukulele.
He's enjoying life.
Good for him.
He's enjoying life.
So is Allstott.
All right, guys.
All right, man.
Have a great day, fellas.
See you, Longwood.
Thanks, Gary. Yeah, I kind of wish Gary
561. I know, me too.
Yeah, I wish he got
I thought he was on the line. I was hoping he got it. 561.
Hey, guys.
Hey, what's up?
It's Dave.
You can talk about Baltimore? Yeah, Ravens fan.
Hey, I came to the party a little bit too late here, but what you think about Lamar, man? Come on now, MVP. You guys were clowning on him at the beginning of the season.
Hold on. First off, I'm going to get one thing straight again, okay? We weren't clowning on Lamar, okay, you and little fuck.
We were clowning.
Not you, little fuck. You were not little fuck. Little Purple is little fuck. We weren't clowning on Lamar. I said if Lamar went to Miami, the Miami would win the Super Bowl easily. So that's not me clowning on Lamar. Rhett never clowned on Lamar. I was just saying, sorry, Rhett, I'll be done here shortly. We said if the fucking Ravens running backs weren't healthy or OBJ or whoever the fuck weren't healthy, the Ravens wouldn't do shit.
Yeah.
Because that's how NFL works. If your players are injured, then your team will suck. That's it. I literally said Lamar should have got paid, went to Miami, and the Dolphins would be probably in the fucking be the best team ever with him throwing it to Tyreek Hill. I shit all over Tua. I don't shit on Lamar. So,
I will say this just because you got Lummy really emotional. I never collectively, or I never shit on Lamar. I just collectively shit on the city of Baltimore because I didn't think he was going to resign. And I shit on his supporting cast, just like Lummy said. I didn't think OBJ was going to be good, and I didn't think they would be able to stay healthy enough to win down the stretch. But good for them, 1 seed.
Yeah,
fucking shove it up our ass.
But listen, what Baltimore people do, it seems like, too, is that you guys are getting all fucking, hard on right now, going, how did that work out? We made the playoffs. Woo! You still got to make it to the Super Bowl and win it. I mean, look at Philly. But Philly fucking clinched. What? They were the first team that clinched at 10-1?
Mm-hmm.
And now everyone's like, oh, fuck, Philly's not going to, they're probably even going to get beat by the Bucks and finish 11-6. Like, don't count your chickens for the hatch.
All right, bye, guys.
See ya.
That's like your Lamar in 2023 is your Tua Tagovailoa in 2022. It just gets you going.
Hold on. I still hate fucking Tua.
Oh, I know you still hate Tua, but I think that conversation is looking a little better for your side of it because, you know, when he had the floor on prime time to win the game the other night, he clutched up.
Why don't I have anybody calling in telling me that I'm right about Tua? All the years that I've literally been saying Tua is one of the worst quarterbacks and that he's only lucky because he has good wide receivers. I don't hear anybody saying that I was right. Nobody. You know the only person I think it says I'm right? You. Because you saw that bullshit game-winning fucking...
I texted you as soon as it happened. Every time I watch a Tua game-winning drive, you're the first and only person I can think of for the entire... entire process.
Anytime you watch the fucking games. Look, he didn't have Waddle. Okay, yeah, he had Tyreek. He didn't have Waddle, though. So guess what? They just double-team fucking... He didn't do dick. Obviously,
Tyreek was getting his ass kicked.
He got a touchdown.
I mean, he did. But at the end of the game, man, they were hitting him. He was limping off of the field. He'd take a couple plays off, come back in. Incomplete pass because he got fucking annihilated trying to catch the ball. Like, it was a tough look for him there at the end of the game. Like,
oh, it was against the Bills. Well, the Bills were fucking dog shit like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm still on the fuck the Bills train. I think this is a fluky run that they're on. I think they'll get past Pittsburgh, but I think Pittsburgh's gonna make it tough on them, and it's gonna confirm to me what kind of team I think the Bills are right now.
Well, let's see this stat line here from the last game. Tua, 17 for 27, 1 TD, 2 picks, 173 yards. Tyreek Hill, 7 catches, 82 yards. Next one, Smith, 3 catches. Cedric Wilson, 1. Like, 3. It's not good. And everyone can be like, "Oh, that's just one game." Oh, okay. All right. You guys got me on that one. Oh, is this fucking little fuck? Yeah, hello, little perp. Are you gonna tell me that fucking Tua is the best quarterback still too?
No, we're gonna have a civil conversation. I'm not gonna get you riled up. Dude already brought up the Ravens. Just wanted to talk football this week, which the Ravens don't play, so we don't have to mention that.
I know they got a bye week. Okay, thanks.
So, what are your thoughts for the Rams-Lions game? I think that's the most intriguing game of the weekend.
I think the Lions still pull it out. I am intrigued by that. I think the Rams. I think Stafford has a pretty good game.
They're scary.
I think it's close.
With Puka and Cooper.
Yeah, I think it's close, but I think the Lions still pull it out. That's my opinion.
Got it. What are your picks for the AFC?
Well, we do that at the end of the show, Little Purple.
Okay, yeah, I won't. All right, fine, I won't ruin it.
Oh, yeah, we got an abbreviated slate this week. Thank God.
Exactly.
All that fucking writing.
You guys, yeah. So, do you think the Steelers have any chance against the Bills?
I think they have a decent chance. Without TJ Watt, it hurts a lot.
Yeah.
Well,
and the speculation. I don't know if you guys heard the speculation. Tomlin's there's rumors swirling that he's going to step down after the playoffs.
I've heard that as well. I think that could be where Bill goes.
It'd be a graceful exit to take a year off and then wind up in Tampa. That'd be awesome.
Hey, there you go. I wouldn't mind that.
Something that pissed me off this past weekend, what schedule makers looked at, I'm sure they have to look at weather, look at everything. Who said, all right, let's put the Ravens versus Steelers, one of the most, physical rivalries in the NFL. Let's put that in a monsoon where both teams are likely going to the playoffs. Obviously, we didn't know if the Steelers were 100% or not. But with injuries and everything like that going the way that it has been, who the fuck decided to put that game in a day where there was 2 inches of rain? And then now I was worried about our players, but I will say it sucks that the Steelers are going to the playoffs without TJ Watt.
I want to know the fucking stooge who scheduled that game ahead of time trying to injure our players. We already potentially got to play fucking Flacco in the playoffs here. I just want to know.
Well, technically, the guy that said, you know what, Baltimore already clinched. They're going to play their fucking dog shit team, so who gives a fuck? And Pittsburgh, they probably were like, Pittsburgh's not going to make the playoffs, so fuck them too. That's why. That's not, you know what? You could say my mentality was probably what the fucking guy was thinking. You know what? Pittsburgh, they suck.
That was an ESPN Monday night game.
No, it wasn't. It was Saturday night. Saturday.
who put it on? ESPN, and it was a Monday Night Football rendition of Saturday Football, is what it was advertised as. So I feel like there's way more production and money and everything like that, attention in that game. So if that game didn't fucking matter, why didn't they put it on Sunday at 1 o'clock?
Because they were just getting rid of the fucking thing on Saturday. Nah, they didn't give a fuck. And technically, Pittsburgh versus Baltimore, back when they planned it, it probably would have been a good game. And they weren't going to flex it. So they said, fuck it. So there you go.
None of it, okay.
What did you want to put? What do you want to put? New York Jets or the New England Patriots?
No, I don't even.
Yeah, see?
Last week.
Yeah, there was no one better to play that game.
Right now, I will tell you right now who I would rather watch Saturday afternoon.
Well, Little Purple would have liked to watch. What, Dallas at Washington? Yep, go through that.
Los Angeles, San Francisco.
That San Fran that had all their players benched? Yeah, what a hell of a fucking game that would have been.
My biggest thing is
Hold on. You just can't name a game. What do you want to watch? Fucking Denver and Vegas? I mean, possibly the only game you would have thought of, I guess.
Tennessee. It would have been cool to have Jacksonville, Tennessee, and Houston and Indy in the same day.
Hey, so I got a more important question for you. What's going to happen when Lamar and those boys run into fucking Flacco here in the postseason?
Yeah, Joe Flacco.
I am terrified of that. That's why I'm hoping either Pittsburgh or Miami wins. So if we do end up having to play them, it's the AFC Championship, because I don't know. I just think it would be an awesome game in Baltimore. If we play Cleveland, I'm going 100%. I want it to be in the championship rather than
of course you want to be in the championship. Yeah, of course you want to be in the championship. So then next year you'd be like, well, we won the fucking we made it to the AFC Championship game, but we had injuries. Mark Andrews was out. We had some other injuries.
I think Lamar is a better quarterback with Likely in, because he doesn't rely on him as much. Like, I feel like sometimes he would force throws to Andrews because that was a safety blanket. He doesn't do that with Likely, and I think he sees more of the field. And he's a better quarterback.
It's weird because I had Mark Andrews on my fucking fantasy team, and it looked like a lot of weeks he didn't fucking show up. And Lamar seemed like he was racist and didn't want to throw it to the only white guy on the Ravens. That's how my take is on that. Because you know what? I fucking didn't win my fantasy league because I had Mark Andrews even before he was injured and he wasn't getting any fucking points.
I didn't win the fantasy league because I didn't know there was a draft. That's what I'm blaming it on.
Sure.
I do understand Lil Perp's point about playing in the AFC title game, though. If you're going to face the greatest quarterback in Baltimore history in the postseason, you may as well send him to the Super Bowl, right?
Trent
give
Dilfer
him one
back?
last favor on the way out.
Trent Dilfer's back? I mean, Trent Dilfer is, I think, undefeated.
Kyle Bowler.
No, I mean, I think Trent Dilfer has a perfect record for the Ravens in the playoffs.
I think Steve McNair was the best Ravens quarterback ever.
Who has a better record, buddy? That's what we go with. Brian from Philly, $10 super chat. What's up, Brian from Philly? I mean, look, if you want to go statistics like Kinstar does or does it.
Not to talk about the Ravens.
What do you mean we're not trying to talk about the Ravens? Are you fucking kidding me?
I said that in the beginning of the call.
Yeah, but then you changed your whole entire thought process.
I talked about scheduling of the games, and then here we are, derailed. But anyways, have fun this weekend. I wish I was coming down, but not happening this year. We'll see what happens in Lummy. I won't be scared, and I'll bet you some more and take some more of your money.
Sure. All right, well, congratulations on your engagement.
Yeah, congrats.
9 for 1.
Jesus Christ, I just needed to bring the testosterone level up a little bit. I know we're talking sports here, but fucking A. I want to be a little softer. You sound soft on the phone. Lummy, I know you're bringing the fucking heat. I like the show, boys. Just wanted to bring the testosterone level up a little bit.
Oh, thank you. I hung up for you, too. Thank you, sir.
I appreciate it. I feel juiced already.
We'll see you Saturday, if not Friday.
No, you won't.
Thursday?
Nah. Maybe next year.
All right, breaking news. Iggy's not coming to Barb.
Jesus loves you.
Jesus loves you too, Iggy.
He's only said it like 50 times.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he's been in chat every day saying he's not going to.
I've seen that, but I don't believe it. I mean, I don't think
he'll be there.
I don't think Uncle Iggy is going to let little Lummy have to defend himself against the big bad, Hootie.
Can't miss out on some of that Tate's fucking pizza too.
I know, and that ziti. Walker's not going to be there. Which
Bubba,
sucks.
I'm scared.
Oh yes, Justin Hempta. I mentioned it to Rhett about the weather for the Chiefs game. The Chiefs and the Dolphins -7. I believe that's what Ashley, a big Dolphins fan. that is definitely going to affect the Dolphins. One, because their quarterback is complete dog shit, but they've also lost 2 of their best defensive ends. I don't believe are playing because they are injured. And that Dolphins D did make up for a little bit of Tua's shitty play. And then Waddle, hopefully, I know he's questionable, but hopefully he makes a comeback. Rhett, I mean, what's your take on the -7 tiny little Dolphin? I mean, I can't believe who scheduled that game, making the Dolphins go to -7. They couldn't wait till the next day to put him in there. I mean, come on. They couldn't have put him on a Sunday 1 o'clock game? Make it a little warmer for the little Dolphins?
Well, the weather's already affecting the ticket prices, if anything. This is the cheapest game to get into on Wild Card Weekend. Kansas City, Miami.
And that's a big fucking game.
Yeah, it's about $64 to get in, which is about $50 cheaper than the next playoff ticket with any other team. So, yeah, I don't know how many people are going to be there. I imagine it'll be a packed house, but they're going to be freezing their asses off.
Would you go sit in a game like that?
Not in the wild card round.
Really?
If it was, yeah.
Even
if
let's say Tampa Bay at fucking.
No, I'll watch that game at home in the warmth. But if it's like the NFC Championship game and the Bucs are on the road, like Green Bay, NFC Championship game, and it's fucking snowing and -7, I would thrive in that atmosphere.
What if it was on Peacock and you didn't have the streaming service?
And I'd have to go to the game.
You'd have to go sit in the -7 because the NFL said, "Fuck you, I'm gonna make some more money on you," and you get a stream.
It just reminds me of my youth when the games were blacked out anyways.
That's how I grew up. So you know what? Listen to the fucking radio. I guess. I mean, those are the best days. Not really. You know what? That kind of sucks. Growing up and not being able to watch your favorite team, just listening to it on the radio, and not being able to actually see playing. It really sucks.
It does suck, but you can get a surprising amount of things done. Like when I used to drive for Amazon, I used to listen to the Bucs games a couple of years ago, and I kind of liked it.
Oh, my dad and I, we used to go fishing.
Yeah,
listen to the game. It just, you know what?
Because you almost have to pay closer attention to it. You know what I mean? Like if you just tune out and you listen, you're gonna miss something important. more than likely, it may be a 3-yard run, it may be a 35-yard pick six, but you got to follow the game a little bit closer when you're listening.
Except when, listen, I love Gene Deckerhoff. I think he's one of the greatest radio announcers ever, and I love to listen. I grew up on it, but I remember just sitting like in my grandpa's pool on a Sunday and be like, Craig Erickson back for the pass, throws it downfield, 4-yard gain. And then be like, oh, man, Craig Erickson. If you miss that 4-yard gain, you're thinking Craig Erickson is the greatest quarterback ever. And then 2 plays, a pick. And then they don't really announce the stats. And I go back and look, and Craig Erickson, I thought was like a superstar coming out of Miami. He ended up, he threw 7 touchdowns and 19 interceptions. Or when Mike Allstott, Mike Allstott on the run, he's breaking 2 tackles, 3 tackles.
Yeah.
He's down. Gain of 1, second and 9. And
it doesn't. Fuck. It doesn't compare to that 1-yard run in person.
Yeah.
Just because when you see him bouncing off of guys and throwing them around, it definitely changes how you view certain players.
Exactly.
Because you can only get so much information from it. But again, that's why I think it's that much more important to listen. And I think it's important to have a good play-by-play guy who can describe things to you in a good fashion. And I think there were a lot of things that Gene Deckerhoff did well, like describing a Mike Allstott run. I don't want to hear any other announcer.
It's going to be sad when he retires.
It was supposed to be 2 years ago, and then
it didn't. Give it up. Well, I think he retired from Florida State.
He did. He did retire from Florida State. And from what I hear, as soon as he's done, then TJ Reeves is the guy that they're going to fill it in with.
Yeah, it's not the same.
I still like Ronnie Night Train Lane. Eat More Coleslaw brought it up on the post game. I like Ronnie Lane. He's a cool guy. Nice guy, too. I've met him a few times.
Yeah, he's good. Look, Gene is the GOAT.
Yeah.
And we are very, because I've tried to listen when I used to drive a little bit to some other radio guys when I had Sirius and they'd put the radio guys in, and it's just not, it's not good.
You know what I really want to find, and it might be lost media at this point, but I want to believe that there is record of it somewhere. 1991, I believe it was in the booth for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers radio network. Gene Deckerhoff and Jesse
Yeah, Jesse the Body Ventura.
Where the fuck can I find audio of Jesse Ventura calling a Bucks game?
What did he? I know. Didn't he call it?
He worked for the Bucks.
Yeah.
Like he was in the booth every week calling Bucks games on the radio.
Yeah, he was a Dave Moore for him, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, he was the color guy. Yeah, Jesse Ventura is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers radio host or radio play-by-play guy.
I wonder if have you looked it up on YouTube before?
Yeah, I've tried. I've gone down this rabbit hole a few times, and I can't find anything. And that's why I'm really like I watch a lot of shit on like Lost Media too, because I think that's just sometimes it's trippy because there's stuff that I remember watching as a kid that literally no one has any idea where it is now. And I hope that that's not the case with this audio because I would fucking give anything to hear that.
Was it 91?
I think it was 1990 or 91.
Yeah, because then he went to the Vikings. Interesting. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah. It's so that's the thing is that it's so forgettable and random, but it like once you know it, it's really interesting. I always think about it. I always think about it too because if you ever listen to Dudesy, the podcast with Will Sasso and the fucking other guy.
Yeah.
So they one of their bits is like Will Sasso does a really good Jesse Ventura voice, so they'll just do like random reads for shit that the AI made up. And it'll be like, I'm Jesse the Body Ventura. Come on down to Target's Bargain Buy 2 Get 3 sale running this weekend, and I'll tell you about the deep state and how they infiltrated the back end of this Target, and they started building underground tunnels. But then you can stop by my place in Boca. You ever been to Boca? I got a place in Boca. I love it out there. We grow all our own stuff. We're naturally self-sufficient.
Are you talking about Baja?
I'm out in the Baja. Yeah, you've seen that clip before.
Because
I'm in the Baja.
Because I used to do it when I thought it was funny because when I did a lot of business in the fish, we had a place in the Baja, and I'm looking around.
Thinking
you're
gonna run into him?
Yeah, because there's only so many big cities, and then I found out that he lived in his own world.
You want to come inside? I'll make you a little bit of breakfast, and I'll tell you about what happened in February of 1994. You see, I was infiltrating an undisclosed location not very far from here, actually.
Can you imagine he's making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? He's fucking pouring you some goat milk.
Slicing bananas and shit.
He's living in the fucking middle of nowhere in Mexico because there's a lot of desert there. He's telling you about when he, well, let me tell you about however the fuck you do it. Gene Deckerhoff in 91. I was calling games with Gene Deckerhoff, And then you break into a fucking Macho Man impression.
Who was on the Bucks in 1991?
I want to say it was Steve DeBerg was the quarterback.
Not a great pass attempt there by Steve DeBerg, but I'll tell you something else Steve DeBerg does in his spare time that I have a lot of respect for is he goes to the library and he reads, man, and he reads a lot about some of the injustices that this local area has faced here within the last couple of years with their local government. And I think that's important. I think there's not enough NFL players with that kind of mindset. And I do think that is a leader mindset.
Colorblind Vinny Testaverde was the quarterback. Remember, let's see, we went a good 3-13, yeah. Vinny Testaverde, Reggie Cobb, Mark Carrier, Lawrence Dawsey. Oh, yeah, I remember that was when he was a rookie. I thought he was going to be a superstar. Yeah, Paul Gruber. There you go, though. Paul Gruber's a stud.
Yeah, Tony Mayberry, Ian Beckles, Ian motherfucking Beckles.
Keith McCants, Broderick Thomas. Yeah, I mean, there you go.
Go back up. It was, who were their tight ends? They had Carrier. Yeah, Mark Carrier at wide receiver.
Yeah.
Reggie Cobb. I'm surprised I know that name, Reggie Cobb.
Reggie Cobb?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's running back. He was 23 at the time. I believe he went and played at Green Bay. I was going to say Reggie Cobb played Green Bay, then Jacksonville and Jets. Big-time career.
Just a back-breaking fumble there for Reggie Cobb on the carry. And I tell you, I haven't fumbled anything that badly since I dropped that bag of FBI documents into the ocean, and no one's been able to recover it ever since.
Wow, look at that. 92, 24, 310 carries for 1,100 yards, 9 TDs.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
That's like I would give anything for a running back to come into Tampa and have a season like that.
Yeah, coming off in his third year. Fuck. And then he just completely dropped off and out of the league after in 96. Perfect. Yeah, Jesse Ventura sounds a lot like Dan Campbell. I mean, listen, Rhett does a really good Dan Campbell, and he doesn't do a bad Jesse Ventura, and they sound about the same.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, you can't go wrong there.
Yeah, I try to get my Jesse Ventura from more of a guttural place than my Dan Campbell. My Dan Campbell's in the throat, but I appreciate it. You know, I'm definitely no impressionist, but I'd be lying if I said they weren't fun to do.
You do a hell of a Dan Campbell.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
All right, this is our last call. Then we're going to make our picks, and then we're getting out of here. 813.
It's Terry from Clearwater. You and Rhett are killing it, brother. I love the old Chris Ziegel jerseys and listening on the radio.
How's it going?
Oh, hello, Brian. We're about to get out of here. Our last call.
I'm the last call of the day. How
Yes.
wonderful.
That was perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. At first, I was actually more excited to talk to Terry.
I figured I might as well get my last use out of it. I only have the ability to do this for 10 more days. I'm not spending another $100 on a license.
Sorry, you might as well just make up a shit ton of audio with Hulk Hogan. Or Terry, I'm sorry.
It's Terry from Clearwater.
Yeah, Terry from Clearwater.
I don't want to get sued, so it's Terry from Clearwater. That could be anybody.
Of course.
Brother.
Yeah, brother. Good impression.
So,
yeah, no.
Did you guys get your picks in yet for this weekend?
No, we're
No,
about
not
to do
yet.
that now. We took your call. And then we were going to do our picks. We've been arguing with Ravens fans the whole time, so.
I heard.
And
Look,
morons.
their defense is championship caliber. The offense is not. So if they get into any sort of where they have to score more than 20 points, I think they're going to be in trouble in the playoffs.
So they definitely have trouble against the Browns because the Browns have a really good defense.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes. Zay Flowers has been a revelation for them, though. His ability to get open, that kind of takes away from what Lamar has done, in my opinion, because he's got the receiver who's winning the most in the entire NFL and getting wide open. So whatever. But no Mark Andrews. What he's done is impressive. You can't really argue with it. But Tua is going to be great this weekend.
I hope Tua is great. You know what? Because I hope the Dolphins win. Look,
they have no chance. It's going to be like negative 6 degrees.
I know. And you know what? I have no chance because they have a shitty quarterback.
They're advising everybody to stay indoors in Kansas City, but they're going to have a football game in this type of weather.
Well, hopefully Tua listens to that and they can put their backup in. Who can't throw the fucking ball.
My picks, I still think Philadelphia is going to beat Tampa Bay.
Wow. All right. Tough take on that one. Do I think Philly's going to beat Tampa Bay?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. No, I do not.
Is that as a Bucs fan or is that as a sports fan?
That is both. Because to be honest,
the Bucs team that put up 9 points on Carolina,
they were reserving. They didn't want to show. They didn't want to show.
Wait, you can't. If they didn't want to use up all their points.
Yeah, and they didn't want to show Philly too much. You know, they can study the game
Philly,
film.
the team they played already this season.
It doesn't matter.
They already lost.
They're a different team, Brian. They're a different team.
Philly's definitely a worse team.
Exactly.
I think Hurts is hurt.
He is. His middle finger looked good.
Well, yeah, that thing was mangled. I think Patrick Mahomes is injured too. I think we're going to find out he has some sort of off-season shoulder surgery.
I think Philly's recent miscues definitely play into favor for the Bucs. And if the Bucs show up and they play their best football, I think it's going to be tough for Philly. But I ultimately don't think we're going to get that same team that we got against Jacksonville and Green Bay.
Well, listen, Coach Bowles is a real hype machine, so I can really see him getting hyped the team up here, okay?
He inspires people. I'll say Canales has done well with the offense under the circumstances. You know, it's looked good enough. I just don't know that they have enough to win in the playoffs. You know, Antoine Winfield ain't going to be stripping people at the 1 yard line every game. So, that Carolina game could have gone a lot differently if he doesn't make that play. And we may not even be talking about the Bucs in the playoffs right now.
Well, Brian, that's the way the cookie crumbles, buddy. Okay, so guess what? The Bucs are in the playoffs.
You're such a homer for the Bucs. You can't say anything.
I always say negative about. What do you mean? I'm a negative person about the Bucs.
I don't know, man. Well,
yeah, he said he didn't like this.
I'm on the show tomorrow.
Yeah, he talks negative about the Bucks all the time. He said he didn't like the souvenir cups at the stadium this year. Said he's getting fucking ripped off.
Yeah, they are, man. They raised prices. They fucking they made the cups smaller. You know, they don't do really anything for the. Yeah, I got a lot of complaints about the Bucks, Brian.
As a season ticket holder, don't you have that thing where you can buy the cup and you pay for it for the whole year or whatever?
Fuck no, they don't. Wait, are you kidding me? Do you know who the owners are?
Refillable sodas or something
They have that,
like
but it's every game and you can't bring them in. Okay.
Oh, can't you also just sign up as a designated driver and you get free Cokes all games?
Yeah, but those are in small cups too. See, everything's small, okay? They don't give anything away. They don't make discounts, and they make a little fucking 18-month-old have their own.
It's small to you. It's a large to me.
Listen, Brian, when you're making a fucking 8-month-old have a fucking ticket, okay? I that's where I draw the line. All right.
They force little Wilbur to have a ticket.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what age you are. You could be literally 3 days out of your mom's pussy, and you have to have a ticket, and the kids can't even sit on his own.
That's messed up.
You think?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Glazers are known for giving us great deals all the time.
Yeah. Do you know who they don't have to do that? The Lightning or the Rays. So, I mean, the Rays doesn't matter because they have a lot of seats, but the Lightning don't make you do that. I think it's 3 and over. I mean, the kid's big enough and he can sit on his own, but I mean, you got a 1-year-old and obviously Walker's now 2.
I think it may be 2 and over, but
no, for the Bucks.
No, for the Lightning.
Oh, okay, yeah, but no, for the Bucks though. Literally,
no.
Doesn't matter the age. The kid literally could not be able to walk, sit, do anything, and you got to buy a ticket for him. They're collecting everything they can out of them. So
that's
see, there you go, Brian. You got me to say something negative about the Bucks.
Well, that is messed up, man. I don't think that's fair at all. So you've had to buy an extra season ticket for your son to take him to the games?
Yeah. At
least he had a great time.
He had a great time the whole time.
Yeah. So under 2 is free at the Lightning.
Oh, okay. See, there you go.
Are you going to be at Tate's, Brian?
No, Brian's not coming to any bar, right?
I wasn't invited, but when is it?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow night, Thursday night at what time?
5 to 7.
5 to 7.
If I get invited, I'll go, but I was not invited. But I think the assumption was I wasn't available, but I don't have anything planned from 5 to 7 tomorrow.
Yeah, because you're going on your cruise, so I think Bubba just assumed you were.
It's not a cruise. I'm going up. We do Christmas with my wife's family over MLK weekend because it's easier for everybody to travel, more affordable, and kind of extends the holiday out 2 weeks. It's pretty nice.
Perfect. Wow.
So if Bubba could switch Barb to another 3-day weekend, I would probably be able to make it most times. But,
well, that's sad, but we'll miss you, Brian.
I'm sure. I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care.
I can't wait, Brian. Thank you for the call.
Take care.
Oh,
see you, Brian.
Thank you, Brian. Oh,
well, he'll be on the show tomorrow, so I guess Bubba can just ask him in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. You know he'll bring it up.
Yeah.
All right, let's go through these picks, big boy.
Let's do it. Wild card weekend. We got abbreviated card, but it is an exciting time. The NFL playoffs are here. I know we didn't really talk about it, and I guess we can abbreviate. We can abbreviate it here quickly.
Abbreviate what?
What'd you think of the national championship game? Michigan, the cheaters prosper in the end. Good for them, right?
Yeah, I still don't understand how they weren't forced to lose the games, that they supposedly spied on, because I feel like if it was any other team, they probably would have made them lose or take losses. Look, they made Jerry Sandusky.
You've been thinking about him a lot lately, haven't you?
They made fucking Joe Pa, think whatever you want of him, lose the games that the coach that was banging little boys in the shower,
right,
that had nothing to do with the players or team, realized the play on the field. The play on the field.
You want to know the argument that I've heard to counter that?
What?
Well, every team in college steals signs. Not every team is fucking little boys, Lummy. That's why. Everybody steals signs, so it's okay.
Okay.
And at the end of it,
okay, didn't they make Bobby Bowden fucking give up some games too because of education? Fucking who finds?
Yeah. Well, I think at the end of the day, we've learned that not only is Jim Harbaugh going to get a national championship out of the deal at Michigan, but he's also probably going to get paid over $100 million.
Yeah, he's going to be making bank
because he said that he will open. He said he's open to leaving Michigan if he receives an NFL offer worth over $100 million. So. Yes. That's the line in the sand for
And he'll probably do a little better secretive next time on stealing signs. He'll probably pay the guy a little bit more hush money to shut the fuck up. Oh, Jesus Christ. That was your good line, by the way.
What?
Everyone steals signs, but not everyone fucks little boys in the shower.
I mean, that's why they took the games away. That's the standard of the NCAA. They gotta preserve their integrity.
Well, no one was,
we know what is more important here.
No one was fucking little boys in FSU.
FSU.
Yeah, Bobby Bowden, I think, had to give up some games.
You fucking said Sandusky.
I did too, but I'm saying they made Bobby Bowden, I think, gave up some wins too for some bullshit reason outside. Maybe some, grades were switched or here or there.
I thought Bobby Bowden was a saint. I never really heard
anything. You didn't know anything
bad.
about it. Yeah, whatever. Peter works old shoes. All right, wild card weekend. They still won the national championship. Cleveland at Houston.
What do you think?
Oh, I mean, I got Cleveland all day long. Joe Flacco, he's already gone there one time against Houston. I don't think I think Fields going to shit himself being his first playoff game, and I got Cleveland.
Fields, first playoff game is what you said?
Fields? Shroud, whatever.
Yeah, I do think the playoff experience for Flacco is going to play a factor here. I think it's going to be tougher because these teams have already played. Excuse me, because these teams already have played, but it's hard for me to pick against Flacco and the Browns right now, so I'm going to go Cleveland.
Yeah, I think their defense throws off Shroud. Miami at Kansas City, which is -7, and Miami has Tua still. So who do you got?
Give me the Chiefs. The Dolphins have been inconsistent down the stretch. They've been dealing with a little bit of injuries. I know at this point of the season, nobody is 100% healthy, but they have an offense that is definitely banged up, and Tua's not playing well to end the season. So give me Kansas City.
Looks like the Chiefs are a 4-point favorite. So I'm going to go with the Dolphins on this one.
To win?
To win.
Okay.
And if this was Hinstar, he'd say that's not an upset game. That is not an upset pick because you only got to pick the favorite. So your pick with Kansas City is an upset pick.
Apparently,
because
based off of that logic, yeah.
Yeah, the fucking logic of Hinstar just drives me nuts. Pittsburgh at Buffalo. Mason Rudolph against Josh Allen in Buffalo. What the fuck is the temperature on that one?
Probably cold.
Well, thank you, weatherman. Thank you, weatherman Rhett. It's going to be cold in Buffalo.
I mean, keep going down. It'll show you at the bottom.
Does it?
Yeah, there you go. 24 degrees and rainy.
That's
we get some snow?
Yeah, snow. Yeah, 24 and snowy. So who do you got, Pittsburgh or Buffalo?
I like Buffalo in this one. I know that I don't like Buffalo in general. I've done a lot of shitting on Buffalo in recent weeks, but I just don't think Pittsburgh's going to have enough. And, if Buffalo finds a rhythm on offense, I don't see a way that Pittsburgh can keep up with it. And missing T.J. Watt's going to hurt, not going to be able to get after the quarterback. But if you can capitalize off of turnovers and play clean football, then I like it. Because one of the props that I really like for this game is Josh Allen anytime interception. Yeah,
well, it looks like you're going Bills?
I will go Bills. I think Josh Allen throws a pick or two, but they will pull it out in the end.
That's really on the ledge there, according to Vegas. I'm going Bills upset. I'm upsetting because the Bills are favored by 10 right now, I believe, or 9.5. So I'm going to take that easy bet and go with the Bills.
That's a big line for a playoff game.
I'm not going to take the 10 points.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely going straight up Bills. Green Bay. Hold on. Let's see if I can do this. Who do you got? Green Bay at Dallas.
Oh, as much as I want the Pack to win this game for Bubba, I don't think anyone's going to get past Dallas this week. So give me Dallas. They're playing at home. And I think it'll be Dallas. I think it'll be Dallas in a exciting game. I don't know what is the spread for this game.
Let's see here. I'm gonna go on a limb and say 6, but
yeah, it feels like 5.5, 6 for me.
Right now, 7.
Holy shit, 7.5.
It's actually currently at 7.5. It opened at 7. So
I kind of like Packers plus 7.5.
I don't mind that too much. I might be jumping on Hard Rock soon.
There you go. But I do think Dallas is gonna win this one.
Or my bookie. Sorry, my bookie. I'm gonna go Dallas. I'm gonna go Dallas too. I think
cool.
Dallas is what can you say? And then this next one, the Rams at the Detroit Lions.
This is going to be the game of the weekend.
The most expensive game out of all the playoff games right here. Average ticket price going for as low as $390. That's not average then. It's going for as low as $396. You can get tickets for the Sunday night game, 8 o'clock, Los Angeles at Detroit.
Who the fuck do Lions fans think they are?
They are the Detroit Lions.
$400 to get into the stadium at Ford Field.
They haven't had that many home playoff games in a while, buddy.
I know that they haven't, and they also have old boy Matt Stafford coming back. So this is a game that means a lot to everyone in that stadium. But
not much going on in Detroit, too.
Feels like if there is an upset this week, this is going to be the one. Give me the Rams.
Whoa!
Yeah, I am riding with Stafford. I like the Lions. I think they are a team playing stricken right now because of that mishap with the eligibility a couple of weeks ago that kind of lost them their seeding, right? They wouldn't even be playing Matt Stafford had they won that game.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
So I think this is just a perfect recipe for Matt Stafford to come in here and piss everybody off. So I think the Rams get it done. They're a hot team.
I'm going Detroit.
All right. I wanted to go Lions. Detroit, but
you just had that feeling.
None of these other games, like I don't think Pittsburgh's going to upset Buffalo.
No, I don't either.
I'm
holding my upset pick.
Yeah.
For this next game. The upset special.
Let's do it. Let's get a 2-for-1. The
Philadelphia Eagles come to Tampa Bay on Monday, MLK Day, 8:15, ESPN. I'm going Bucks. Upset right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's playoff time, baby, and I can't pick against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So give me the red and pewter. Wearing red and pewter, by the way. It's about fucking time.
Are they?
They are. They announced today that they are going to wear red and pewter.
What's the temperature on that game? 65, 70?
Probably beautiful weather.
Beautiful weather, 64 and rainy. Awesome. Now there's going to be rain in the forecast. But you know what I say and what Bubba says? The weathermen don't know fucking shit, especially here in Tampa. So you know what? It's going to be beautiful weather, as Rhett said. And you know what? I got to go put a fucking sign up with Big Red. And then I got to get home to Walker. So, Rhett, I appreciate you getting through your constipation to be able to stay here with me and do this sports show for everybody.
I appreciate you, Lummy. Thanks for having me, letting me just babble on about whatever. And I cannot wait to go home.
And take a huge shit.
Yeah, make this movement happen.
And I'd like to thank everybody that tuned into the Lummy Sports Show with Rhett. Just remember, he fought through constipation to be here for you guys. And we'll be back. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be back tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. right here on YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, and check out Bubba Army HQ while the show is not on. And you can check out all the archives or even go download the podcast. It will be a good one today up at 12. And for all your Bubba Army merch, go to Bubba Army Shop, Bubba Army Store, or BubbaArmyMerch.com and get it. Especially if you're coming to Barb. You don't want to be the only person there without a Bubba Army shirt. Are you shitting over there, buddy?
No,
Sounds like you're gasping.
I get a head start.
Well, thank you, and thank you, everybody. We will see you in the morning, and we will see you next week right here at our normal starting time, hopefully at 10:20. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. See ya.